We all have been told that making mistakes is a bad thing and we should never make a mistake or just prevent it at all costs. But let me tell you guys something. That is completely wrong. The only time that you would have to prevent from making a mistake is when you have already made a mistake. Because here's the thing, making a mistake in itself is not a bad thing, because sometimes when you make a mistake, it can actually be the best thing that has happened to you, because you get some sort of a lesson or a data. You learn something new from that mistake, right? You take that data that you have gotten from that and you put it into use and you take full advantage of it, because it can actually help you grow in many ways that you have never thought. It opens these doors, it opens your world to pretty much endless possibilities of improving yourself, learning new things, just becoming better and better, because if you don't make those mistakes, you will never grow. For example, you keep making mistake on a certain industry or business, but it's not like the same mistake over and over again. That would be bad, obviously. Like a different part in that sector of business. Let's just say the laundromat breaks, or the filter breaks, or this breaks. The floors needs replacement. The roof needs, stuff like that, right? You learn over time when you just keep doing the same thing over and over again. You learn all of its problems, all of its areas, all of its tips and tricks. You just learn everything about that certain niche that you're making mistakes in. And over time that adds up, and you become unstoppable in that specific niche. You become the master of it. Why? Because you kept making mistakes and you just kept practicing. Practice is key. You learn from your mistakes, you just keep going. Every data is crucial. Every mistake that you make is crucial. What matters is you learn from it or not, and you use that data to your full advantage or not. That's what I'm trying to say. Then people say, oh, don't make any mistakes. No, that's wrong. That's completely wrong. Let me tell you guys something, for like a story of mine. I was like browsing scooters, like electric scooters. I was just curious. Like I wanted to buy one for myself, like those good ones. I was like trying to see the financing options, and I think I clicked on a button. I don't know what it was. I don't remember. It was like in PayPal. I just wanted to see like the financing options, but then accidentally purchase. Like I pretty much ended up purchasing the scooter accidentally. It wasn't a bad scooter, but it was not the one I wanted. So what ended up happening is I emailed the merchant, to get it canceled. But guess what? They never responded properly. They was like pretty much the guy didn't even read my email. So he just like copy and pasted a template like I have already received the product. I literally sent that email like the same day. So what ended up happening is I actually got the scooter and opened up a claim right away, because I realized what's happening, because they shipped it anyways, despite me emailing them before they shipped it, and it was on hold. So they ended up shipping it. I opened up a dispute claim with PayPal, and long story short, I actually ended up getting this scooter for free, $1,000 something scooter for free. It's a pretty good scooter, by the way. Actually, I've been riding it a lot lately. But it's crazy how a simple mistake like that can end up. You see what I'm saying? You gotta make mistakes and learn from them. Even if I would have not gotten the scooter for free, I would have still paid for it, because it's a pretty good scooter, and I just want to have something until the better generation comes up, because we are literally in the middle of a generation of Segway scooters. But anyways, long story short, this is the main point I want you guys to take away from this video. You gotta make mistakes to learn. You gotta make mistakes to become better every single day, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Just go for it. Don't let fear hold you back. Don't let anyone hold you back. Like, think about it. If I would have never pressed that button accidentally, I would have never gotten the scooter for free. All because what? They made a really bad decision just to, just ship it, even though despite me telling them not to. And, PayPal sided with me because they never responded and they knew they were in wrong. So, that's just one example. Yeah, just do what you gotta do. If you gotta start that project of yours, just go for it. if you got to start this driving lesson of, you got to go for a driver's license, right? Go for it. Don't let anything, stop you. You want to start this e-commerce business, go for it. You want to start this side hustle of yours, go for it. Collect the data and then decide what you want to do. For example, I did Uber Eats myself, and it wasn't good. The money was not good. I was Ubering, delivering food on a car account, and I was still getting paid less than the minimum wage. It was like $10 an hour, which is like illegal in Canada. So, which is crazy. But anyways, again, I'm gonna repeat it. Don't be afraid to make mistakes, because those mistakes is what either it makes you or builds you. It depends on what you do after with it. At least the data that you get is important, and what you do with it is important. Learn from those mistakes, and put it to use at its fullest capacity, and take full advantage. Silent Ghillie out. Peace.